right, let's get on our feet. We'll step up to the top of the mat and bring the feet together, please. And then just start to find your breath. And we're going to let the breath be gentle, but I do want you to bring it in and out of the nose. But try not to force. Try to savor. It's a very different energy, right? A different attitude and intention. We're savoring the breath. We're filling ourselves up and emptying ourselves out. We're doing it with some sense of control as that breath moves in and out of the nose. Yeah, hold your head high. Really start to build your posture from your feet. In this moment, your consciousness is in the soles of your feet. And your feet are on the mat is on the earth. So it's like saying to yourself, I am here and I am ready. This is the first teaching of yoga. Atta Yoga Anusasana. Yoga begins now. And it begins the moment that you pull yourself into present time. So you feel yourself here on the mat, you become aware of your posture. Maybe you make little adjustments to align better and have a little better balance. And it's not going to be big movements that happen in a pose like this. They're micro movements. But this is how we elevate and raise our consciousness. When we become more aware of ourselves in any moment in time, we start to have the ability to become more aware of the things that are going on around us. We are a microcosm of the macrocosm, right? We are just an example of everything else that's happening in the world. Each of us reflecting it in our own way. And so when we look inward, we're shifting and changing, hopefully, our perspective on all the things that are also happening around us. Let's take one more deep breath here, and then open your mouth and let out a little sigh. Yeah, you can feel how that changes things too. The breath is one of your greatest tools. Inhale, reach your arms high up over your head. And then on the exhale, let's bend over. Just like fold over, but soften your knees for me. Good morning, Shabbat Shalom, bonjour. So we let our heads down, we soften our knees so that we get a little stretch in the back of the legs, all up and down the back of the spine. Let the head down. Yeah, it's kind of nice. And then we have to create a sense of integration. If we're going to make big movements, we want to make sure we're doing that with muscular energy. So push the feet down and out. Start to keep that bend in the knees, but do it with a little more vigor. And then start to roll yourself up. Tuck your toes, pull in the belly button. Press your toes, not tuck your toes. Roll yourself all the way up through the spine. Lift and roll the shoulders back. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Hook your thumbs together, spread the fingers apart. Let's go to the right side. Take the gaze up toward the thumbs. Draw the tailbone down. And really feel that into the side body. Yeah. Now we're going to just stay where we are, but look down toward the ground. Tuck your chin down a little bit, and then tuck the tail a little more, and see if you can get that stretch to move a little into the back side of the body. And then inhale, rise back up. Switch your thumbs, and we'll go to the other side. So you take it over to the left. We start looking up toward the thumbs. We really start to feel that in the side body. So we can actually direct where the sensations are, right? These micro movements. Start looking down toward the ground. Tuck the tail a little bit and see if you can get the stretch to move along the right side and the back. And then we rise back up. Inhale. And then let your arms come down. Beautiful. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. Come to a flat back. Now we'll soften the knees so we can touch our hands down and step out to your first plank pose. Probably not going to do a lot of plank today. They generate heat. We don't need any more heat. So here you can lower your knees or just lower yourself fully down, all the way down onto the belly. Inhaling here for Cobra. And in Cobra, it's a small back bend. Try to keep your elbows bent, keep your hip bones on the mat. And then really try to broaden your chest. Squeeze the elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades back. So elbows come in instead of out. We don't want elbows out. We want to squeeze the elbows in. And then really try to lift the collarbones. Yeah, it's so nice. Take one. I think we need batteries. It's like blinking. It's not fully green. All right, let's find our way to down dog. That is our first downward facing dog, and sometimes they are just like every other one, and sometimes they're full of surprises. So be willing to meet yourself exactly where you are. Breath steady. Hips high, head low, no tension in the neck or the jaw. Take another long, slow, deep breath in. And then look at your hands. Let's walk our feet right up to the top of the mat. Bring the feet together and then lift halfway to a flat back. Inhale. Fold deeply on the exhale. And then we'll rise all the way to standing. Come all the way up. Reach. And then bring your hands to heart center. Test. There we go. All right. Thank you for your patience. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway on the inhale. Again, we go to plank and lower. You can do chaturanga or go to the belly. You can put your knees down or not. We modify what we need to. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. And then take it into downward facing dog. And so as we start to move into the practice, we start to kind of make it our own. There are ways to modify that suit your body and your energy level and the quality of your breath. Let's go ahead and give one more push back. Just take a deep breath in and then look forward, but this time step forward with the right foot. Right foot steps to the right hand, and then we rise into high crescent lunge. Find your steady here. The feet push down and out, but the legs kind of draw into the hip sockets. And I want you to make the back leg as straight as you can. Come up as high as you can on the back toes. There's a fierceness and a sturdiness about the back leg. And then reach up a little higher, and with all of that upward energy, can you now straighten the right knee? It's sort of weird to kind of manage the fluctuations there, but see if you can feel the rooting down through the feet, but the integration of the legs into the hips. Both legs are straight here. Both legs are straight. The front leg straightens. Yeah, you're high on the back toes. All right, stay on the back toes. Bring your hands to your hips and take a forward fold, just halfway. Woo! Say hello to your hamstring. See if you can keep your balance. On your next inhale, we come back up. That's it. Slowly bend into that right knee. Reach the arms back up. Establish your lunge. And then let's take a flow. Hands down. Step back and lower. Just touching into all the larger muscles. Inhale through cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Okay. So same idea, we're going to inhale and push back just a little, and then the left foot steps to the left hand. We rise into high crescent, and this is a very deliberate practice this morning. We're just going to be in our bodies, right? We're going to just feel the integrations, the grounding, this sense of purpose in our movements. So the back leg becomes straighter. We get a little higher on the back toes, start reaching up a little more, and then straighten the front leg. It's interesting, right? See if you can get the muscles of the front of your legs to hug onto the bones, like tighten them up, lift the quads off of your kneecaps, right? Reach a little higher. Now the hands come to the hips and we start to fold halfway. Still balancing on the back toes, and there's a little wobble there. That's the whole point. We're trying to manage the fluctuations so that we can get to our little stabilizing muscles. You feel that big muscle in the hamstring. Rising up slowly. Come on up. Inhale. As the arms reach, bend into the front knee. Reestablish your lunge. Very nice. Go ahead. Take a flow. Hands down. Step back lightly. Lower slowly. Breathe in through your back bend. And breathe out as you go to down dog. All right. Now all of that work in the back leg is going to be what prepares you for your best warrior one. Right foot steps up, left foot turns flat at the back of the mat, and we come on up facing forward. Chest plate forward. Start to feel the relationship you have with that back foot. The left foot is grounded, but the left leg is turning inward, and the chest plate, the hips, the ribs are all trying to face forward. There's a little tension. You're working with your own tension here, and we're trying to straighten and lengthen that hip flexor on the left side. Now the way you play with it is by keeping the integrity of the back leg, but bending a little more into the front leg. Give me another breath. Reach a little higher, and then exhale, take another flow. Hands down, step back, lower. If you're getting overheated, you can step right to down dog and skip the goodies in between. Otherwise, you make it yours. You flow with your breath, and we all meet in downward facing dog. Okay. Left foot steps up, right foot turns in flat. We'll rise up facing forward, and we'll start to just play with and manage the tension that's living in the front of your right hip, right? We're just gonna see if we can notice it and lengthen it to make it a little more juicy. Back foot grounded, back leg turning in a little bit. So the body can turn forward a little bit more. Micro movements, right? Yeah, you guys look amazing. Let's take another breath here and keep the integrity of the back leg, but bend into the front knee just a little deeper. Yeah, and I think some of you would feel really good if you would just lean back slightly. Get some of the weight off of the front leg. Get the hip flexor a little longer. One more breath, and then please take a flow. Hands down, step back, lower slowly. Inhale through the back bend, micro movements again. And then downward facing dog. All right. Head low, hips high. Breathe in deeply. Let's come up high on our toes. Bend deep into our knees and press the chest back a little bit toward the knees. And then when you're ready, you look forward. You can jump, step, or walk your feet up to the top of the mat. Nice. Lift halfway on the inhale. Fold deeply on your exhale. Now bend your knees, sink your hips. I see you two ladies on the lawn. Chair pose. That's for you. That's what you wanted to do before. I saw. Yep. And then push through your feet. Come all the way up. Yeah, it's amazing. And then bring the hands to the heart center. Something happens to me when I teach in a large group. It's like my ability to be aware of all of the things just grows, you know? And so don't worry, I see all things. Yeah, but it's nice. I think we all want to be seen, right? We all want to be felt. We all want to be heard, because we just want to matter and we just want to belong, right? Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway on the inhale. Fold again, please, on the exhale. And then show me chair pose one more time. Bend your knees, sink your hips, reach your arms. Yeah, this is beautiful. Bring the hands to heart center. Sit down just a little lower. It's the tailbone drawing down, not so much just the bending of the knees. Then push through your feet. Let's come up, reach the arms one more time. And then exhale, fold right in. Okay, inhale, lift halfway. Let's go to plank and lower on the exhalation. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. And then take it back to down dog and back into warrior one. Right foot steps up. Left foot turns flat. Come on up, take your time. Ground down. We're facing forward. And then I want you to take your arms and just clasp them behind the back. Open the chest a little broader and then start to fold humbly. We're bowing our head toward the big toe of the right foot. So it keeps you to the midline. Yep, right here. We're going to bend that front knee just a little deeper and see if we can draw the tailbone down. And then pushing down into the feet, start to rise up. Lift the crown of your head. Beautiful. The arms begin to reach up high. That's it. And then take a flow. This will be the last part of our warm-ups. We'll start to build into sequence. I feel like we got all of the major parts. The only thing that's missing is a spinal twist. Left foot steps up, right foot turns in. Warrior one. Remember that you're working the hip flexor on the back leg. You're trying to turn your body forward. Bring the hands behind you, but interlace the other index finger in front. And then inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, humbly fold. Bowing the head toward the big toe of the left foot. Trying to stay toward the midline. You can square your hips a little bit here, which would mean left hip back and right hip forward. Don't be afraid to bend that front knee so your tailbone can draw slightly downward. And then we rise up from the crown of the head. As you rise, start to lift your arms. Take a deep breath. And then exhale, take your flow. Just kind of feel yourself in your body, in the rhythm of your breath. Right? Just moving and breathing. We even got a cool breeze coming through the park. It's kind of nice. And then we find our way to down dog. Let's look at our hands and take a walk, jump, step, walk, hop, skip, saunter, however you want to get there. Bring your feet together at the top of the mat and then lift halfway. Exhale, fold. All right, we're going to bend our knees, sink our hips. Come back into your chair pose and then bring your hands to heart center. Hold your head high here. And then take the left elbow outside the right knee. We're going to take spinal twist to the right side. See if you can feel that relationship of the elbow pressing the knee and the knee pushing out into the elbow. Push into your palms so you can broaden your chest, and then please bring your head back. If your head is bending over to the right side of your mat, bring it back toward the center. Yes, in front of your knees. Now keep your hands in prayer, come back to center, and then reach the arms up as you come to standing. Oh, coming all the way out, and then bringing the hands to the heart. Inhale again, chair pose. Bend your knees, sink your hips, hands come to the heart. We take the right elbow outside the left knee. That's a little bit of a journey, but don't let it take your head off the center. Once you anchor the elbow, you get that little push-pull going on with the leg and the elbow in relationship. The palms pressing help you broaden the chest. Bring the thumbs toward the heart toward the thumbs. That's it. Now keep the hands in prayer as you recenter and then reach up as you come up. Yes, all the way up and out. And then we bring the hands back to the heart. Inhale, arms reach again. Exhale, forward fold. Okay, lift and lengthen on the inhale. Let's soften the knees and touch our hands down. And take a big step back with the right foot. We'll stay on the toes. Right, so we're going to keep that heel lifted behind us. And then just plant that right hand down and twist open to the left side. So again, I'll draw your attention to the actions of the back leg so that your hips stay where they are. We don't really want the hips to turn. We want the actions to happen in the waistline. So your left rib cage turns up toward the ceiling. Your right rib cage turns under your body. Now, just for fun, turn the palm forward and reach your bicep over your ear. See if you can feel your left hip pull back as you reach that arm forward. So we're getting a really nice long feeling in the sideways. So this should be closer together. Yeah, that's where the turn is. Can you feel that? Yeah, rib cage action, reaching the arm. Good, let's take the arm back up. Eyes go down, hand goes down. Please step to plank. Lower yourself slowly. Inhale for cobra. And then exhale, down dog. How are we doing here? We okay? Yeah? You feeling that cool breeze on your skin? Is it a glass half full or a glass half empty moment? Right? Slowly walk your feet up to the top of the mat. Maybe give yourself an attitude adjustment. Feet together, lift halfway. Inhale, feel for the cool breeze on your skin. Exhale, unfold. Then bend your knees, sink your hips. Just come through chair pose. Don't hold it. Come all the way to standing. And then bring your hands to your heart. Nice. Inhale, arms reach again. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Lift halfway. Soften your knees, touch both hands down, and give me that big lunge back with the left foot. You stay on your left toes, rooting down through your left hand, create a twist to the right side. Notice all of the body parts. Some things move in groups, some things move individually, some things don't move at all, right? And it's our job as we practice yoga to really start paying attention. And remember, it's left hand down, right arm up, so you're turning and twisting toward the bent knee. Yep, switch your hands. Yep, not everybody. No, most of you have it right. Yeah. And then bicep comes over the ear. So nice. Straighten that back leg a little more. Get more energy out of the back leg. There it is. Push down into your left hand. Turn the right chest open. Come on, turn the right chest open. I knew you could do it. That's it. And then the arm comes up. The eyes go down. Place your hand down. Just step to plank and lower. Yep. Cobra on the in-breath. And then this time, child's pose instead of down dog. Settle back. Let your head rest onto the mat. For 2 breaths, just to feel that cool, maybe you'd make that whistle and you reverse the whistle and you feel yourself cool down. And then we return to downward facing dog. Hands come forward, hips go high, head goes low. Take your time, expand your body. And then right foot steps up, stay on the left toes. 1 breath in high crescent lunge. And then please turn open to the left for warrior 2. We want a nice big stance here. Wide legs, arms open wide, chest turning to the left side, just like lots of spaciousness. And then dig a little bit into your front heel and bend your front knee for me. Now before you do anything else, find the integrity of the back leg in the lunge. It's straight, the muscles are hugging the bones. You feel a sense of connection to your footprint. Yep. And then with all of that, we see if we can bend the front knee, the right knee, a little bit deeper. Yeah, very nice. Go ahead, reverse your warrior. Left arm down, right arm up. First, look up toward your fingers. See if you can get more extension in the spine. Then check in, make sure your front knee is bending. Sometimes we come out of it. Then we hold right there, but just turn and look toward the Achilles tendon on your left foot. Just look down to the ankle, to the pinky toe edge of your foot. Let the neck have a little break. And then we're going to float the left arm up and out. Bring it up parallel to the ground. Eyes go to the left hand. And then return to warrior 2. Eyes go to the right hand. Beautiful. Go ahead, take a flow. Both hands come down. Step back lightly, lower slowly. Just notice the integrations. Notice what parts of your body check out and which parts have to overcompensate to make up for that. And then see if we can start to find more balanced actions. Left foot steps up, stay on the right toes. 1 breath in high crescent. And then we turn open to the right for warrior 2. The back heel goes flat. And again, we're just creating space here. And there's a relationship that you need to have with the pelvis, right? Sometimes because we're tight in the inner thigh, we want to stick our booty out because that'll make this a little shorter. When we draw the tailbone down, it makes this a little longer, right? So our body's so smart, it'll compensate. But we want to make sure that we're getting the balanced action. So just turn your body to face the side, reach your arms wide, Find the integrity of your back leg and then see if you can bend your front knee a little bit more. Right now the gaze is on the left hand. We're going to reverse the warrior. Right arm down, left arm up. Keep looking to your fingers. Look up. Looking upward. We can feel a little more space coming into the left waist. Reaching up as we bend into that left knee. And then turn the gaze down toward the ankle. Look toward the earth. That's it. Now continue looking down toward that right hand, but float it up and out behind you. Reach toward the back edge of your mat. Keep looking at that hand. So good. And then as you return to warrior two, take your gaze to your your left hand. Yeah. Pause for a moment and then take your flow. We don't always have to rush into the next thing. We do things mindfully, deliberately. That's exactly what yoga is. A tool for raising our awareness, our consciousness, and it starts with us. Push back just a little. Feel into your body. Do your hamstrings feel a little different? Let's go ahead and look forward and then walk our feet up to the top of the mat. Good. Lift halfway. Inhale. Fold deeply on the exhale. With a flat back, let's rise up. Lifting through the head, reaching through the arms, and then bringing your hands onto your hips. Good. Knees are going to soften just a little bit so that you have some sense of control of your movement, right? We don't want to be like rigid. We want to have a softness here. And then we're going to take the right leg and step back, both legs straight. It's called pyramid pose, so it's not quite as long as our warrior stance is, right? It's a little bit shorter. And we're going to do our best to keep the chest and the hips and the ribs all facing forward. Make sure you didn't step your right foot behind your left foot. Make sure that you stepped your right foot behind your right hip. So that you have a better sense of balance here. And then we're just going to fold halfway. It's kind of like what we did in the warm-ups. Say hello to your left hamstring. Does it feel a little better than it did that first time? Anyone? Yeah, good. We like to notice those little changes, and sometimes they're subtle. So make sure both legs are straight here, and then lift your gaze up and out. Yeah, I want a flat back. We can even enhance this even more. Elbows squeeze up toward the sky, shoulder blades squeeze in the upper back. And then see if you can get your chest plate to reach a little more forward. Get a tiny bit more weight on that front leg. That's it. Now I want you to really keep your left heel on the mat, but flex the ankle so the sole of your left foot lifts away from the mat. So that means you're doing the whole thing, not just your toes. The whole foot comes up. You balance on your heel. It's kind of crazy. Try to pull the pinky toe side back. I know you feel that. You're looking up at me and smiling, right? Go ahead and put the sole of the foot back down. Rise back up slowly. Let's soften that right knee and step the left foot forward. What did I say backwards? I did it backwards because I was mirroring. Okay. Switch sides. So simple actions. But we're looking for those micro movements. We're looking to pay attention to the subtleties, right? Hands are on your hips. You're going to fold halfway, and then we're going to see if we can refine it, right? If we just do the big gross movements, that means like we're only concerned about outer form. And I am so much more interested in allowing you to experience what's happening inside of you. See if you can get both legs straight, squeeze the elbows and the shoulder blades back, draw the collarbones out. See if you can even pull the right hip back and the left hip forward a little bit. That's part of getting the weight balanced, yes. And then we'll try flexing the front foot, balancing on the heel. Yeah, just feel that. Feel the pinky toe pull back a little more. Ooh, there's so many good things in there. So many muscles on the back of the leg, so much connective tissue and gunk that we want to break through, right? Go ahead and ground your foot and then rise up slowly. Soften your right knee and gracefully step your feet together. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Hands come back onto the hips, soften your knees. Here we go again. Right leg steps back. Fold halfway. Pause there for a moment. Find all of the things that you created in the last round. And then please take your right hand to your left shin. We can keep the foot flat. Yeah, I want you to be stable here. So right hand to left shin. And then we start to twist open to the left side. Left arm goes high. Remember, in those twists, we don't pull the head to the side. We pull the head forward toward the center of the mat. Elongation before rotation, right? These are our priorities. Stability. Yeah, make sure you're breathing. Ground that back foot. Jonathan, make sure that heel's down. Yeah, you gotta be stable. Both legs straight, lift the chest, turn the chest open. Beautiful, then eyes down, hands down. Let's soften that front knee and just step our feet together. Come into a little baby squat at the top of the mat. You're gonna treat it like a child's pose. Knees to the chest, chest to the knees, and bow your head. So if any part of you needed a little stretch in the back, here you go. Drawing the chin down, we get a little tension out of the body. And now from this nice deep squat, we come to chair pose. So you're just gonna start to sink your heels, reach your arms, keep the knees bent. We stop kind of halfway right there and then come all the way through it and bring the hands right back to your hips. Good, knees soften, left leg takes that step back. Both feet flat this time, both legs straight, we fold halfway. See if you can square the hips, activate the upper back, get all of the things. Collarbones forward, left hand goes to right shin. Use your hand on your leg to help you get some leverage and then twist open. Right arm high to the sky. We use both hands, we use both legs, and we use the integration of the core to create this outer form. And then we work the subtleties on the inside. What happens if you pull your belly button into your spine? What happens if you start to pull the head forward and lengthen? Use your hands a little more. Get a deeper twist. And then the eyes come down, the hand comes down. Soften the front knee so you can touch the ground. And then step the left foot forward and come into that little squat. Tuck your tail, tuck your chin. Take a break here. And then we never break too long. We come right back to chair pose. Sink your heels, reach your arms, hold right there in that super strong place, and then move through it. And bring the hands to your heart. All right, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Let's go to plank and lower. We're gonna find ourselves on our bellies. And appreciate that wind coming through the park, right? We take nothing for granted. There are gifts and miracles everywhere. So laying on the belly, turn your head to one side. Take a rest for a moment. Check in with yourself. Literally, how are you? Are you okay? Yeah? I think we're okay. All right, we're gonna bring the hands by our sides and bend the elbows. So it's like cobra arms, but a little bit further back by the rib cage. And then push into the heels of your hands and start to lift the chest and squeeze the elbows back. With the hands a little further back, you might feel a little different sensation in your spine. Yeah, that's it. So the elbows are gonna stay bent because I need you to lift your legs too. We're coming into locust, yeah. So you get your hands back by the bottom of the rib cage, you push into the hands a little bit, squeeze the elbows, and you should be able to get the back to lift your front off of the mat. Pick up your legs. Now pick up the tops of your feet. Get your toes away from the ground. So you're using everything you got. Lift the tops of your feet, lift your toes. It's not just coming from your glutes. You need the whole leg to lift. And then go ahead and put it down. Turn your head to the other side. Yes. Feel that pulsation of life moving through your body. ahead and open our arms out like a T. So you're gonna have to come off of your mat and onto the ground. So you're either having arms on the platform or on the grass. That's it. And then go ahead and pull your right knee out to the side. Bend it and pull it out wide, keeping your foot on the ground. So some of you are putting, your foot in the air. Just kind of pull it out to the side. That's it. You want to keep that knee bent so we're not pulling on the hamstring so much. I'd rather that be bent. Yeah. A little bit lower. This way. Yeah, so this goes low. And then go ahead and just turn your head to the left. So you're looking away from the bent knee. Give yourself a moment there. It's a similar leg to what you had in your Warrior 2. If you would, bring the head back to center and get up on your forearms. So we have what we call Sphinx arms. So our palms are flat, our forearms are flat. Yeah, and we're just kind of allowing that hip to continue to marinate there behind you. So just on the elbows. Push down a little through the forearms so your collarbones lift and widen. And then walk your elbows just a little bit forward, a tiny bit forward. You're going to take your left arm and thread it through. First, I just want you to thread it so you can lay on the upper arm. So it's not going all the way. Lay down right onto it. Just for 2 breaths. Just kind of feeling that in the shoulder. And then push down again into your right arm so that you can take the left arm all the way through. Yeah, reach it all the way through. And then the right arm starts to open up toward the sky, and you'll roll your chest open for spinal twist. So the back of your shoulders goes to the ground. The knee might leave the earth. Go ahead, roll all the way. Roll all the way. Your knee does not have to stay on the ground. Open your chest. Put your arm on the ground behind you. Yep, that's okay. Let the knee leave the ground, and then, keep twisting the spine open. Keep reaching and looking out toward that's your right hand. We're just going to take one more breath here. A really big, full breath in, and an open mouth exhale. And that right arm is going to come back up and over. You got to put it on the ground so you can unthread the left arm. And then as you turn to face down, slide your leg back. Hold there for just a moment. Lay yourself out, arms out like a T. Turn your head to one side. Rest. As you rest here, the left knee pulls out wide. It's about 90-degree angle on the knee if you can. Don't pull it up too high near your waistline. You want it even with your hip, because you want the inner thigh on the left side to kind of be near the earth. We want to elongate the inseam of that leg. And then we'll turn our head away from the bent leg. So we're going to look to our right side. Just creates a tiny bit of a spinal twist. And then in the stillness of the pose, we still breathe. There is still a dynamic quality. And we are still challenging ourselves to stay awake and aware of the more subtle things. These are moments where it's so easy for the mind to wander, but I'm calling you back in. I'm asking you to feel and to pay attention. From here, we get up on the forearms, it's those Sphinx arms, and adding extension to the spine changes the dynamics of the hip opener. And so we're just going to give that a moment. See if you can get on your elbows and lift your chest up. And if the elbows are too close to your belly, it's hard to get up. Walk them a little bit forward. You might be able to get a little bit of lift off of the mat. There we go. Crown of the head rising. Just an openness in that left hip and a breathing sensation even into your lower back, right? So that there's no compression. Then we're going to walk the elbows a little bit forward So you can take the right arm and just thread it a little bit so that you lay down onto the upper arm. Just feel a little pressure, warming up that shoulder. You lay your body down, chest down, chest down. So we haven't gotten to the twist yet, right? We're just laying down on the upper arm. You can feel a little pressure in the right shoulder. That right palm should be facing upward. That's it. And then we push into the left elbow so we can get up a little bit and then thread that arm all the way through. Reach through as far as you can, and then the left arm goes up toward the sky, the chest opens wide, and you roll your upper back to the earth. Try to look to your left hand so that you kind of see where you're putting your arm down. Go all the way till your shoulders are touching down. I don't want you to hang out in midair. Go ahead, let the knee go. Yeah, there it is. A little softness. We don't always have to do the hard things. I think life asks us to do the hard things enough. That's it. So a couple of breaths. If you need that cooling breath, you take it. Then our left arm is going to rise back up toward the sky. We bring it up and over so we can put some weight on the left hand and unthread the right arm. As you lay yourself onto your belly, slide that leg back. Yeah. Very good. So we lay our head down, we turn it to one side, and we just take a breath or two. Now I'd like you to take your hands under your shoulders and push back into a really wide leg child's pose. Toes together, knees wide. Let your heart melt between your knees. One more breath here, and then come on up and sit on your heels. So our right knee is kind of wide all the way to the right side. Bring your left knee over to meet your right knee. Bring your left knee over to meet your right knee. So your legs are kind of to the right side of the mat. I'll kind of do it here so you can see. Knees are, where are we? We're sitting here, right? So we're bringing left knee over to meet the right. Now the left hip is going to come forward onto the mat. Yep, put that down. And then slowly start to walk yourself down. You can rest onto the elbows. There's another spinal twist here. It's face down. And on the forearms might be enough. There's a good amount of twist going on in your spine. But you could also lay your chest down and open your arms out like a T, and you would be looking to the left. You could lay down onto your chest, look to the left. And breathe. Maybe you stay on your elbows today. Believe me, your neck will tell you exactly what is appropriate or inappropriate for you. And it's our job to listen. The practice of yoga is helping us become bilingual, right? We're becoming fluent in the language of sensation. And it is the language that our body and mind speak to each other all day long. That's it. It's little things in life like, oh, I'm hungry, so then I eat, you know? I'm cold, I put on a sweater. I'm hot, I take off my shirt, right? The language of sensation. So if the bones get jammed up and they feel compressive force and they don't like it, they tell you move and adjust. Slowly bring the hands back in. Get back up onto your elbows. And then we're going to come on up and just like bring your legs around to the other side. It's just so much easier. The feet have to be behind you. So they have to go all the way around, feet behind you. And then go ahead and start to lower yourself down onto your elbows, onto your forearms. Maybe onto the chest, maybe the arms open like a T, and you turn and look away from the knees. Take one more breath here. And then start to bring your hands back in under your shoulders so you can kind of lift yourself up, and then please swing your feet around to the front of the mat. We're going to ground our feet on the mat in front of us with the knees bent. And then lean back just a little bit. Interlace your fingers, everything but the index in front of you. And I do this to challenge you because as soon as we interlace the fingers in front, the shoulder blades start to spread apart. Can you feel that happening on your back? I want you to do the opposite. I want your hands to be in the midline, but I want your shoulder blades to squeeze back behind you. Yeah, notice how the abdominal wall just engaged. Keep your head up, maybe even head back slightly. And then we're going to just turn to the right. Just feel the obliques. You'll feel the rib cage turn. And then just keep breathing. You can look right at your fingers. You don't even have to turn the head too far. You want to keep that neck in neutral. Work from the waist. And then come back to the center and over to the other side. Again, these subtle movements, not the big gross things, not the biggest twist you ever did, but the one that makes your obliques grab and shrink your waistline, right? That's it. Then come back to the center. Go ahead and open your arms, turn the palms up, and lay yourself down. Go one vertebra at a time. Try not to flop. Yeah. And when we lay down, if you're in a really sunny spot and you want to move to shade, I totally get that. South Florida sun. So we find the stillness on the mat, we close our eyes. And one more time, we're going to come into the spinal twist, but I want you to do this one as gentle as possible. So we draw the knees into the belly. While we're here, let's take a little hip stretch. Open the knees wide, maybe even grab for the ankles for happy baby. That's optional. You could just hold your knees, but let the hips open. There's a little bit of space between the legs. And as those legs widen, see if you can keep the tailbone down. Sometimes we pull on the feet so hard that we curl our tailbones away from the mat. And in this moment, I just want your spine to get some elongation and decompression. So wide legs and tailbone flat. You can rock a little bit side to side. Enjoy one more breath here. And then we'll bring the knees together and the feet together. And slowly guide our legs over to the right side. So we're taking spinal twist to the right. The knees and the hips go to the right, which means our gaze goes to the left. We turn and look left so we can open the left chest, and then just take a moment and notice the stability that you're getting from the earth beneath you, and that ability for you to let go and let down just a little bit more. Trust the intelligence of the pose and focus on your breath. Press a little bit into your arms so you can help engage your core. We do that to integrate the spine as we return to center and make our way over to the other side. So our knees and our hips are going to take a turn to the left. Our chest opens wide and our gaze goes to the right. And again, seeking the softness, letting go of the effort. We'll take one more breath here. And then, nice and easy, find your way back to the center. Once you put your feet down, let's put the soles of our feet together. Let the knees drop open. Supta Baddha Konasana, reclining bound angle pose. And you can take your hands to your heart, or you can take the arms up overhead. Do what suits you in this moment, not what you always do. And as much as we are always led in the practice by a teacher and the energy of a group, part of what is happening to us in the practice is that we are really learning how to lead ourselves, to trust our own intuition, to explore that just right place. We're going to move from here into our final resting pose. So the knees will draw up to the center and we'll slide the legs out. And then we'll bring our arms down by our sides and let the palms turn up. And we'll give ourselves a few moments to simply be. Be gentle with yourself as you begin to awaken. Think about what would be the best way for you today in this moment to come out from your sacred rest. way of kind of pulling yourself together and returning to a seated position. And we sit up nice and tall, and we close our practice together. How do we feel? You okay? You made it? Yeah? Okay, good. I'm so glad. Hands together at your heart. Press into the palms so you can lift your heart a little higher. And then don't be afraid to root down into your tail. It's sort of a grounding sensation and an uplifting sensation. Everything we do in yoga is about integrating the opposites, right? So we're always looking to have the down and the up so that we end up feeling like something effortless in between. And we push into the palms so that we can find our center, and then we'll fill our lungs and create the beautiful and sacred sound of Om. So breathe in with me. Om Shanti 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 Hi. Om peace, peace, perfect peace. Loka samasta Sukino Bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. May the actions of my life and all of our lives somehow contribute to that happiness and that freedom for all. May all of us sentient beings walk this earth knowing peace, peace, perfect peace. Namaste.